Hey friends, welcome to the Windows Art Gallery again, here on day 2 of my going live on the YouTube channel. So much fun. Hello. So, what are we going to talk about today? So one of the things I've been doing here in the studio is I've been having a lot of exploration with leather and with making soap. Now the two have nothing to do with each other, I suppose, unless I were making saddle soap or leather soap, but the two don't really match. But today I'm going to work with some of those items, so I thought I would let you in on what I'm doing. And I may have to change this camera angle, which will require me to walk up there, but let's try it and see what happens. So here is my studio workspace that Roland made for me. He made me this fabulous desk, and as you can see, you can't quite see that. So let me just come up here and let's take this little camera off. Now I already knocked it on the floor once today and knocked it around, so I think I'd like to not do that again. I don't think we should do that more often than just once. Let me try one more time here. Let's go up just a little bit. All right. I don't have this whole camera thing worked out yet, but eventually I will. Bear with me. So look, here's my fabulous table that Roland made me. You can see here in the background, I've got my Cricut machine. But today we're going to work on some leather stuff. So what would you need to do some basic leather working, like when I started out? So one of the things you need is leather. So I did order from Tandy Leather and from Weaver Leather a bunch of leather. Now it comes in a big roll. They just make it into leather from the animal that it's taken from. And it comes, sometimes it comes just plain leather. Sometimes it comes stained with colors. You can buy it in colors. You can buy it with embossing on it. You can buy it in different thicknesses, depending on what you want to do with it. So my first leather buys were for belts. So here is your basic leather utility belt. This is nothing that you would, say was dress up. This is just a basic everyday belt. It's got these nice screws here that you could even change out your buckle if you wanted to. But it's a basic brown leather, what I would call a utility belt. And so some things that I would like to do with this actually belongs to my nephew, Andy. I gave it to him for Christmas, and I told him to bring it back when we had some time, and I would put the proper holes in it. So I have measured it to him yesterday. I've got the hole sizes that need to go in here. And one other thing I want to do to it is I would really like to polish up this edge a little bit. The edge. It's still a little raggedy, and I've done some different kind of polishing since I got this for him. So let's talk about that today, Mr. Ray. I'm going to lay it right here on my counter, and I'm going to bend over down here and get what is called gum tragacanth. I'm just going to call it gum tea. But we're going to take some of this, we're going to put it on the edge, and then I'm going to take a high-speed drill that has a burnishing tool on it, and I'm going to burnish the edge of the leather. So let's see what that looks like, okay? And if you're at home today, hanging out, hi, come on and hang out with me for a while. I'll always have something interesting going on. I don't know if it will be, the most fabulous thing you ever wanted to see, but you can at least hang out with me, and we can hang out together. So, getting a little paintbrush here, and this stuff smells. You want to try and smell it? Go ahead. I know you can't, but it is a little smelly. So I'm going to also put on my glasses so I can see. This is something relatively new that I need reading glasses. I've got contacts on, but I still can't see. So I'm going to take the edge of this, and I am really going to coat this with the gum. And you can see that it's getting a brownish look to it, which is what we want. We want it to get nice and wet with the gum, and then I'm going to take the leather burnishing tool that really is just a drill with a burnishing tool put on the end of it, and I'm going to run it all along here. Now, in a real fabulous leather working studio, which maybe someday will be part of this, you would have a machine that attaches to your bench, with screws, sort of like a grinder that you might have in, your garage, what do you call them? Not studio. This is a studio. In your garage workshop at home, you would have a grinding tool, and you could run it along the edge without holding onto the drill. I'm not that fancy here. I have a nice drill that's portable, and I put my burnishing tool right on the end of it there, and I just hold it and run this over it. Some parts of this came out really good when we did it at Christmas time. Roland was helping me do a lot of this. But some of this could just use a little bit more. And you know, I think our pandemic situation sort of got in the way of finishing this up for Andy, because right after Christmas we were all really, really busy. So I've cut it right here. I've made a really nice round edge, and not against my white shirt, you can really see that. And let me do this side. So what are you up to today? It's raining. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're working at home or from home. That's always really popular, working from home these days. I've got one person coming in at 1:30 here to do a drawing class. If you would like to come back on Zoom with me and do a Zoom drawing class, I'll have one young lady in here with her family doing a drawing class today, and we'll see who pops in on the Zoom class. Sometimes it's kids from Morocco. Sometimes it's just me and Prince, which is okay. Sometimes I got 10 kids. You just never know. And a lot of kids have gone back to school. Have your kids gone back to school? Do you have kids? Are they in school? Got the hybrid model going. We've got all kinds of good stuff going these days. All right. Painted this with the gum. Let's lay this down. Let's get our drill. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm going. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab the drill. Hug this bathroom. Drill. All right. Snap my drill together. I got it. And let me show you the nice burnishing. Now, originally I had this one, which works pretty good. But I really like this one. Watch this now. I won't be able to find it. I had it yesterday. Let's see. There's more. Yep. Here it is in my drawer. I forget what this piece of wood is made out of, but see the nice grooves and things? You can really get a good edge on your belts with it. So let's get this on. I might have made that too small. Yep. Let's make that a little bigger. There we go. Tighten it up. Yep. And there we go. So, are you ready? We're going to burnish. And again, this might not be, the high-tech way to do it, but it's my low-tech, handmade, homemade way to do it. It works pretty good. But sadly, the camera keeps going in and out of focus. I have got to fix that. It's a brand new camera. It's the more expensive one. And it's still going. Bear with me on my newness to YouTube here. Let's just burnish up the edge. Ooh, that's starting to look nice. I'll show it to you in just a minute. See how nice this is polishing up? Can you see that? It's getting really shiny as opposed to parts that are not burnished on this side. Shinier, not burnished. So this will probably take me at least 20 minutes to burnish because I have to hold it. So we're going to move on to punching the holes in this. So this belt is not punched yet for holes. I'm actually going to swing around to this side. Now punching holes is not that difficult. There's no banging involved. There's this great tool, and here it is. This is made by ProMaster, Smart and Simple. I got this from Weaver Leather. It is rather expensive, but wow. Oh my gosh, it makes great holes in belts. You get different sizes, and you can turn this to whatever size you want. And I think that the holes I will use for Andy's belt, let's look at the tongue on this. So we've got this size right here. It's not a huge one, a huge belt buckle. So I think that we will use a medium size hole. Let's pick that out here. That one's definitely too small. That one's way too small. Too big. There it is. I think that one's perfect. Perfect. Now, what we have to do is make sure that we poke the holes evenly, because there's nothing worse than having your holes go loop-de-loop-de-loop down your belt. That doesn't look very good. So I'm going to get out my ruler. I've got a square that I can use for this. And I am going to mark my holes on here. And I've got a part of the belt where I started it, so I can cheat a little. At the end, I just made it way too big for him. Oh my gosh, I had this size for an elephant. All right, so I'm just going to mark each one of these holes real easy with them all. This will be the simple part, and then I'll add a few more at the end. There we go. I can see those, and I'm going to take my square. And there may be other ways to do this. This is just the way I have found it's really simple for me. Alrighty, there we go. And let's just go right along there, making sure we stay nice and straight. I have got these about every inch. So I'm going to add another one right there. And I'm going to add another one right here. And then I think that will be enough holes for Andy. All right, let's grab our hole making tool. Put it on here. And make a nice hole. And once you really snap this down, if you twist it a little, that makes sure that you get the whole part. Sometimes it's amazing. Look, there's still a piece of that didn't cut right. Once I'm done with this, I'll go back with a little pointed knife and I will smooth that out. So let's do another one. Let's try and do a better job of this second one. All right, hear that click? That should mean it's done. Twisty, twisty, make sure I got all parts of it. Let's see if it comes out a little better. It's still sticking. I probably need to have Roland sharpen up my hole puncher a little bit. I am sure that this gets quite dull over time, and I have made a lot of belts this year. Now, these belts are great and fabulous Christmas presents, and I have a lot of them made. If you would like one of these, text me, 860-382-5095, or message me on Facebook. Lots of you know where my store is. Come on in. And we could get you sized one of these just for your loved one. I do have them in other colors, too. All right. Yesterday I showed you, remember the one I showed you? It's still right here. You can also get these fancy belts that are colorful. This one has the elk and the bear. The elk, the bear, and the eagle. That's a great one. All right. One more. I think I lied. I think I got two more. Yep, one more. No, I got one more. All right, we've got our holes punched. So I'll finish burnishing this. You don't need to watch me do that for half an hour. But let's move on to soap and see what I was doing, what I wanted to do with this piece of soap today. So once you make a bar of soap, and we'll make some videos on that, you cut it. This is just a very plain white, no scent bar of regular soap. And today what I'm going to show you is how to make the edges nice and pretty so that it's a presentable, pretty bar of soap to give someone as a gift. And I have my soap thing right here. Where did it go? Hold on, we've got to find it. All it is a peeler. I must have put it down somewhere. Hang on, guys, let me find it. Oh, here it is. Right here. Told you, I'm just my real self here. So this is just a vegetable peeler. And this is what we're going to do. We're just going to bevel the edges on the soap. Woohoo! And I'm going to make a mess on my floor that I will have to clean up once we are all off the phone. See, we're just beveling edges. See how this one came out? Just beveling edges. Makes it nice. messy on my floor. I think I need, the next time I make this batch of soap, I am going to make it a little less hard. You can adjust soap recipes. This one might be just a tad bit hard. I also might be beveling the edges a little too early. The soap really has about 2 more weeks to dry before it's considered done. There we go. All right, so we've got a nicely beveled bar of soap. And of course you can only see half of me now because I didn't notice. Just keep putting up with my weirdness here, guys, as I get used to doing YouTube channels, okay? So that's what I have today to show you. Some soap, some leather. Love you all. God bless. And I'll talk to you again soon. We'll do something else in a day or two. Bye-bye.